Now, Ray, going back to the Hagler fight, you were retired for nearly 3 years before you came back and challenged him for the middleweight title. What made you decide to make that challenge at the time that you did, and how were you able to perform at such a high level in that one?
Well, I saw Hagler's last fight prior to my fight against John the Beast Mugabe, and I saw a part of him that was not fluid. He was very lethargic in that fight, and he was being outboxed by a slugger and John Mugabe. And I said, well, if I box a little better than John Mugabe, I can beat Hagler. Because Hagler he was an amazing fighter and champion. He was ambidextrous, and he could hit with both hands. But I felt that speed would be a real challenge for him and could nullify his strong points. And that's the reason I decided to take that fight. Also, I had my own fights in the gym with real fighters that I flew in. I had judges come in. I had a official referee come in, and I went through a couple of rounds, like 12, 15 rounds, to give myself that feeling again of the ring.
Also on that fight, a lot of people had wanted to see a rematch between you and Hagler. And in fact, when we had Hagler on the show, he said, I believe I hung around for another year hoping Leonard would give me a rematch, which he didn't. Now, can you tell us a little bit about the decision at the time not to give him a rematch, and whether you were satisfied in not giving him a rematch, or whether in a way you regret not giving him a rematch?
No, there is no regret, because that was never the case. I mean, why wouldn't I have given him the rematch? I mean, that would have been a perfect fight again. That first fight was relatively close, but that would have generated so much interest for a second fight. I mean, I would have done that in a heartbeat. Hagler, I think he forgets that he went away. He moved away to Milan, Italy. So he was the one who threw his hands up and said, "No more. I'm not going to do this any longer," and he retired. I need to call Hagler, or you need to call Hagler back.